So, after watching the Sony E3 conference, I'm actually wowed. The consumer in me is happy, the gamer in me is thrilled. I've never been the type of gamer that actually picks sides on the console wars, but honestly, after everything that I just saw, what is Microsoft even thinking? By Sony just saying that they support used games and that the console won't require an internet connection to run? That's a critical hit to Microsoft. Overall, Sony did a good job. We did have to listen to 10 minutes of crap about Sony movies. I don't give a shit about that on my console. Talk about the games, not the stupid apps that you could add to the console. I'm buying a console for the games, not to watch movies or download apps. We had quite a few games shown. We had The Order. Who else wants to shoot werewolves with a Tesla gun? That actually looked pretty cool. And then they actually showed us Killzone Shadowfall. And Sony showed us another trailer for Infamous. I really wish they would actually show us the actual gameplay. I'm a big fan of the first Infamous, and I would love to actually see the actual game in motion. One of the things that really blew me away is the amount of support Sony is putting toward indie games. They showed us stuff like Transistor, which was made by Giant Games. They made one of my favorite games, Bastion. Just to list some of the games they showed us Octodad, Secret Ponchos, Raised Dead, Outlast, and holy crap, they're bringing back Oddworld. Microsoft couldn't even be bothered to show us some of their indie games. They showed us Minecraft. Wow. A game that's been out since 2009. What are you doing, Microsoft? As far as I can see right now, the PS4 is clearly the better console when it comes down to indie games. They're actually supporting these companies when it comes down to it. It's like Sony went to the last PAX and gave all these indie companies an open invitation to their console. And it would seem that even Square Enix finally came and wanted to play ball. They've renamed Final Fantasy Versus to Final Fantasy 15, and they showed us an amazing looking trailer. But what truly sold it for me was fucking Kingdom Hearts 3. Not Kingdom Hearts version 2.1, 2.5, 720, whatever. It was Kingdom Hearts 3. When I saw the Disney logo, I was like, oh great, what version of Kingdom Hearts 2 are they trying to sell me now? But then I saw the 3 after Kingdom Hearts, and I was fucking sold. Think about it. Disney now owns Star Wars? Can you imagine combining Final Fantasy with Star Wars? As crazy as that sounds, if there's a game that can make that work, it's Kingdom Hearts. And then Sony showed us the yearly version of another Assassin's Creed, which locked up during the actual presentation. So it looks like so far Microsoft and Sony have had technical difficulties during their presentations. Then they showed us the multi-platform game Watch Dogs with actual gameplay. The geek in me loved this, seeing all the stuff you can hack and turning technology against your enemies. And they showed us some of the features where your friend can use a tablet and help you run away from the cops by activating certain things in the city, which is a similar technology like the smart glass on Dead Rising 3, where you use a tablet or your phone to call in an airstrike. Now that's something that looks like Sony and Microsoft, they really want us to use tablets, which is not something I'm all that excited about. I only got 2 hands, and if I have to put down my controller, it kind of breaks the immersion in the game itself. And now that Elder Scrolls Online was actually announced for the PS4, it would seem that out of all the consoles, the PS4 is actually the home of MMOs now. You have a major release like Elder Scrolls coming out, and then you even have Final Fantasy XIV coming out for the console. Now, many of you might be kinda iffy on Final Fantasy XIV, but I can tell you the game is actually looking great. especially considering where it was. When that game came out, it was broken as shit. But if you play what they currently have now, it's like seeing an entirely new game. Then finally, the big announcement came out. The PS4 is going to support used games. Sony believes that if you buy a game, it belongs to you. You can keep it forever and you can do whatever the hell you want with it. If you want to give it to your friends or sell it, the game belongs to you. You do what you want. And best of all, the console does not require internet connection to play your games. It does not require you to connect it online every 24 hours to get updates. This is my biggest turnoff for when it comes down to the Xbox One. It was funny to watch this when they announced it. There was actual chanting from the audience. And I have to say, Microsoft, look at this. This is not about which console is the best. It's about common sense and what your actual consumer wants. And sadly, the consumer in me tells me to put my money on the PS4. Now, the one thing it does look like is you are going to need to get PlayStation Plus if you want to play multiplayer games. But I will honestly pay that price. It will only put it on par to the Xbox when it comes down to it. Then one of my favorite gaming companies, Bungie, they actually showed us Destiny. Not some stupid trailer, but actual gameplay. It's like Halo meets Borderlands with Defiance. A great combo, and I know that in Bungie's hands, this game can actually be awesome. And I'm glad that this game is actually multi-platform. And finally, the last big announcement, the actual price on the PS4. And Sony delivers a vicious right hook to Microsoft's face. Not only are we not going to have the anti-use game policies and the retarded required internet system, the PS4 is actually cheaper. It comes in at $100 cheaper than the Xbox. It's going to be $399, 399 euros, and 349 pounds. So once again, our UK friends do get screwed. But considering that it's cheaper than the Xbox One, it might lessen the pain for you guys. I really don't want to sound like I'm biased to the PS4, but unlike Microsoft, Sony did not dodge the actual issues. Microsoft didn't even bother to make a mention of any of these problems on the damn conference. They've basically shifted the blame about the used game issue to the publishers, basically saying, well, this is a shitstorm, let the publishers deal with it, and let them decide if they want to charge for used games. And Sony, you've earned quite a bit of respect from me by doing this. So far, the PS4 is the least anti-consumer next-gen console coming out. Which, as a consumer in me, I honestly have to go with the PS4. But honestly, as a gamer, as long as any of these consoles, it doesn't matter if it's the Xbox, the PS4, or the Nintendo Wii U, release great games, I'll have room for all the consoles in my living room. Either way you put it, E3 2013 for once has actually been about the games, and anything else that's announced is just going to make this E3 one of the best ever. Like always, leave your comments about what you think. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed my little rant. And I'll catch you guys next time the gaming industry does something stupid or amazing that's rant-worthy.